Hello guys, it's Rainbow Runner, and we're back once again. This is New Year's Eve of 2022, so 2023 will be in less than 7 hours from now, because I think it's about 5 o'clock when I'm recording this, so yeah, recording this for the final sunset of 2022, and like usual, I do want to kind of do my end of the year vlog, kind of review, recap 2022 as a whole, because I think the appropriate way to describe 2022 was ambiguous. But and I think that will also apply to 2023 going forth. But yeah, so January of 2022 started out. It was essentially the last full month during my tenure as a service missionary. So I still had my service locations, including the grounds of the Gilbert Temple, the Queen Creek Performing Arts Center, the Father McGivney Food Bank in Queen Creek, and all that stuff. But we did have some interesting stuff to do. Like, I still made some rail fanning videos. In fact, there was one that I made across the tracks from Veterans Park where I was actually with one of my fellow missionaries, Joel Johnson, aka JJ Ricks. I had him meet Austin, aka Arizona Rail Fanner, as we filmed the train go by. It was pretty fitting, if you will. And yeah, so, and at the beginning of last year, that's when I installed my dash cam in the truck. Yeah, this dash cam was what I got for Christmas of 2021. But yeah. And then we pretty much still had like Sunday meetings and stuff that we went to as missionaries. One of them was in Phoenix. And what was interesting is while I was waiting for a light to turn as I was heading home, I actually did get rear-ended by a guy. I guess he wasn't paying attention, but thankfully there was no severe damage done, no noticeable damage done to the truck, mainly because of the trailer hitch and all that stuff. But yeah, everything was okay. And then I went to Munns Park with a lot of my fellow elders, where we hung out there, and we also went to see Sunset Crater. And then I think later in January, I actually got to see the show, the musical Next to Normal, which would included Casey Likes and Stephanie Likes. Miss Likes was the theater director at Chandler High School, the high school I went to. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff for January, which would be, again, the last full month during my tenure in the mission. February 1st was notable because it did have Brother Rudd, who was the groundskeeper at the temple. He held a party for me at Backyard Taco just to honor my tenure coming to a close. And I did play 007 with my missionaries, and we actually went to a bonfire up on the 87 in the Bush Highway in the desert, because if you remember that video I filmed, it was Elder Larson who threw the jug of gasoline onto the burning pallet just to make it go up in flames. Yeah, and then yeah, pretty much the tenure of my mission concluded my official release day on a February 6th, and then even though I was released, I guess I would also still attend like some missionary talks and stuff for my fellow missionaries. I guess got released just beforehand, but I mean, I would go to their landing talks and stuff. And I know I still attended one of the FHE activities with the Stedmans and everything. And I actually drove up to South Mountain on Valentine's Day. I took my friend Kylie Gove. Kylie, she was actually with me when I went to New York way back in the day and stuff. But, yeah, she's sweet. And then I went shooting, I think, the next day, and then the big day came when my own landing talk, along with Elder Matthew McCurdy's, they took place on the 20th, and we both gave really good talks in our meetings, and I had a big open house afterwards. The open house had lots of people come in to attend, and actually my sister Melody and then Melody Carl Beckett came to town for my talk, and so did Kevin. And though I'm glad that we got my talk done when I did, because the 22nd my family was really not feeling good. Like I was throwing up quite a bit, but aside from that, but I was able to recover, and because my friend Menlo Groman also came home from his mission, so that's really cool for him. Though it was pretty soon that he started to go. He would start going up. He would go up to Idaho for schooling and all that stuff. But pretty much the ambiguity factor really started kicking in March, because my mission was done, and I was just thinking, what was I gonna do? I still made some rail fannings, and actually, I actually started attending the Pioneer YSA, or Young Single Adult Ward, because I thought that would make sense, given how I'm trying to figure out what to do, instead of going to my family's ward. I was glad that. But I think that was the best for me. I started making friends with people there. And actually, if you look down here in my truck, my dad helped me install this power switch, and it can turn on. I have my FM transmitter in here, phone charger, dash cam. So we installed that because my original power outlet kind of broke. So and then, and I'm not saying this to stir up any political debates or anything like that, but yeah, gas prices unfortunately started topping $4 a gallon in March, so that kind of sucked. But yeah, I also, my dad and I had to make several trips up to Payson and back in the general area this year. Part of it was just because my great uncle Kenny was living at my grandpa's house by himself for a while, ever since my grandpa passed away back in September of 2021. Kenny was a nice person and stuff, but he really wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed. He had lots of health issues, and he was kind of stubborn, would not get the proper stay and get the proper treatment that he should have to get better. But yeah, so yeah, that was pretty much March. March and April, I was basically, I was starting to plan out my upcoming semester at Chandler Gilbert Community College. Because I already received dual enrollment credits from high school, and I was just trying to get everything set up and get back into the swing of things as I start another semester. I just thought that Chandler Gilbert would be a good place to start. So that was April. And actually, in April, I started playing through Pokemon White, just because I was greatly inspired by both Chugga Conroy's Black and White Let's Play and Lou Roy's Black and White walkthrough, to play through the Unova region. As you saw, like I made several videos on there. Yeah, 2022 also marked some anniversary years for certain relevant things. Some like, let's see, like May 3rd was the 20th anniversary of the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie. And then, of course, there was May the 4th. On May the 4th, I went and saw The Music Man with my mom, like at the theater at the Hale Theater in downtown Gilbert. And I also went into the Musical Instrument Museum. Yeah, and that day, May 4th, marked the 10th anniversary of the first Avengers movie being released. Yeah, and then I think on May 5th, which was Kevin's birthday, my mom and dad went to Las Vegas for and they actually went to Vegas back in March for their 30th wedding anniversary. But yeah, but during that time period, I was starting to partake in Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. Dave Ramsey really is amazing. Like, that's the best way to become financially fit. I recommend Dave Ramsey a bunch. And I should while my parents were away, I also rewatched the original Star Wars trilogy, and specifically the pre-1997 cuts of the movie that I have. And then May was kind of just a lot of back and forth stuff too. Like, gas prices were also topping $5 a gallon that month, which was very ridiculous. But nonetheless, I was still able to continue enjoying myself, like doing my Pokemon White videos. And I also, that month, in terms of Star Wars, it was the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones, and also the 45th anniversary of the release of A New Hope. And I did see like the videos of where in the Star Wars Celebration, where John Williams directed the Star Wars themes and Indiana Jones theme live, as Harrison Ford announced Indiana Jones 5. And I guess that rhymed. And then at the end of the month, as you know, I went to the D-backs game against the Dodgers, but I was wanting to take the Stedmans to a baseball game for quite a while, so that's what we were able to do. And it was a close game, but unfortunately, D-backs couldn't make it, and it's just not helped by the fact that how many Dodgers fans are in Phoenix. Let's see, June, June was interesting, because I continued doing stuff with the Pioneer Ward. Then my friend Emma Willis, she got home from her mission. I attended her missionary homecoming talk. Then it was interesting, that month was when Pixar's Lightyear was being released. Oh yeah, and I guess Turning Red also came out in March, which I enjoyed too. Yeah, but with Lightyear coming out, I decided to rewatch the Buzz Lightyear of Star Command movie, which I have on VHS. I liked that series, that movie better than Lightyear did. Even Lightyear was okay, even though there was one aspect of it that I wasn't a fan of. Someone's setting off fireworks, but yeah, and I guess the big thing that happened that month was my first major trip of 2022, where my dad and I drove across the country to Illinois, where we passed through New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, going into Kansas even, and then Missouri before finally making it to Illinois. Therefore, adding Oklahoma and Kansas to my list of states. Yeah, and then we hung out in Illinois for a bit with Melody, Carl, and Beckett. And then my dad also flew home. Then my mom and I rode the Amtrak home. And we also passed through Arkansas on the train, though. Given how I never got out of the train and got off the train in Arkansas, it remains somewhat up for debate on whether or not I visited Arkansas. But yeah, that was that for. And we did. Oh yeah, we also made some good friends on the train who got off in Lordsburg. Yeah, and then we eventually arrived back in Maricopa, and that pretty much concluded June, and by extension the first half of 2022. And then we started off July with 4th of July. As you saw, I went to the 4th of July celebration in Mesa, where I filmed like the band performing Stars and Stripes Forever, and then the fireworks show, though I have a bone to pick with Russian copyrights. Like, what do you have against Born in the USA? Like, really, what do you have against it? It's annoying, but anyways, then pretty much that month, I think, actually, for the few months, I guess I was mainly starting to plan my semester for school. I guess also in the middle part of July, I also hung out with my friend Amanda Skousen. She was one of my fellow service missionaries as well. Got ice cream together. We hung out at the pool, Mesquite Groves to be specific. And there was the MLB All-Star game, which was at Dodger Stadium, which was supposed to be held in 2020, but that didn't happen for obvious reasons. But it's just weird. Despite how dominant the Dodgers have been, yet they're not able to lead the National League to win an All-Star game during that time, because the American League won every All-Star game since 2012. So starting in 2013, to clarify. But come on, National League, please win it in 2023. All right. Yeah. Also interesting. I got to see Casey Likes in person. Because Casey was getting ready to go to leave for New York for his Almost Famous tour on Broadway. So yeah, that guy's really made a name for himself. Yeah, it was good to see him again. Let's see. Also that month, I actually played the Haunted Mansion video game. It was mainly in honor of Disneyland's anniversary, but yeah, the Haunted Mansion video game, it's an interesting game, to say the least, and it's surprisingly enjoyable, kind of like Luigi's Mansion, if you will. Oh yeah, I forgot to make mention, back in June, I got to level 43 in Pokemon Go, and also at the end of May and into June, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, was released on Disney Plus, and then also, I saw Book of Boba Fett, I think back in March too. Oh yeah, and I guess in terms of other movies and stuff, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, was in May, came out in May, and then Thor: Love and Thunder would come out in August, which is where we're going next. August, my ward did a day at Canyon Lake, and then I actually watched the Gendy Tartakovsky Clone Wars series, since it was on Disney Plus, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I always remember where General Grievous entered and killed the Jedi Shaggy. Yes, he was actually inspired by Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. But yeah, then Kevin and Melody did come to town briefly for some things. And while Kevin was in town, we actually played Guitar Hero 3, completing the co-op career mode. And then August was when I officially began my semester at Chandler Gilbert, where I was starting off simply with college algebra and accounting. Interestingly enough, college algebra, I actually took during my senior year of high school, but I couldn't, but I wasn't able to get any dual enrollment credits off of it. So yeah, so that pretty much wraps up August. I was also taking an institute class during that time. September, my birthday was on September 7th, and I turned 22, which allows me to jam out to Taylor Swift's song a lot more. Then, oh yeah, that month, I think during that time, Kevin came to town, for a few days, but then, on September 10th, after I dropped him off at the airport, I was in Tempe for a bit, because there was a lot of the American flags set up, mainly for Patriots Day, and then on 9/11 itself, I went and saw the Stedmans give their farewell talks before they went to Brazil for a mission of their own. Yeah, the Stedmans are great people. But yeah, what else? I guess I did some more stuff with like YSA related activities. I know that I also got to attend a homecoming talk for a couple of beautiful twin sisters that I know, who served their missions and stuff, who I knew from high school. And then, what else? I guess at the end of the month, I performed, for the talent show, I performed the version of You've Got a Friend in Me that was heard in Toy Story 2. And that takes us into October. October started with General Conference. I guess the same can apply to back in April. But yeah, October started off with that. But then we went to that was when I had my trip to Seattle, so we added Washington State and Oregon to the list because we also went down to Portland just to see the temple and such. But yeah, lots of good stuff in Seattle, including the Space Needle. We visited my mom's friend who in Bremerton. Yeah, lots of good sites, like both iconic attractions like the Space Needle, and then even just the beautiful natural sites that are present in the Pacific Northwest. It was overall a worthy trip. And then, interestingly, on the flight there, I rewatched the OG Top Gun, and Maverick was amazing as well. And then I also rewatched E.T. the Extraterrestrial on the way home in honor of its 40th anniversary this year. Yeah, but October, for the most part, it was just continuing stuff with my school, and then at the end of the month, I was once again dressed up as Marty McFly for Halloween. I actually got to go to a YSA Halloween party that day, and then we also the World Series. That's right. World Series that day. It was the Phillies against the Astros, and even though the Phillies have done an incredible job this season and stuff, it ultimately was the Astros that prevailed. But I mean, at least they have vindication for the sign stealing and that Dusty Baker gets his World Series ring. And it was also interesting going into November, like I did that Back to the Future reenactment video. I don't remember if it was actually early December or it was still in November, but there's a helicopter flying this way. But yeah, but I saw Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and I think that, I mean, it was definitely one of the better Marvel films in recent times. So but then Thanksgiving comes around. Kevin came to town for that as well. And he came, and we went shooting, and actually we rewatched the original Enchanted, because Disenchanted came on Disney Plus. So that was pretty cool. And speaking of Disney Plus, I also watched the Andor series. Yeah, it gets a lot better during the second half of the season, if you will. And then we come into December. And yeah, Christmas season. Such good stuff to come out of there. And actually leveled up in Pokemon Go once again. So I'm now at level 44. We had some other YSA activities, like we did Feed My Starving Children, actually a few times throughout the year, but Feed My Starving Children was definitely an important thing we did. Then what else? Oh yeah, I guess also that month I was able to wrap up my semester. I was able to excel in all the classes that I was in. So yeah, then there was just planning out the next semester, which should be cool. And then, and actually this month, I watched a couple of more interesting movies. Like I watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because it was one of the free YouTube movies that could be watched. And I also rewatched Pocahontas. And Pocahontas really is such a good movie, because I like the messages that it has. And then Christmas came around. Oh yeah, I guess also that month I did make my D-backs Beat LA Hoedown, my own Dodgers diss track. And then this month was Christmas. Kevin came to town once again. Spent a lot of good time with each other. we went shooting on the 26th, and I filmed me shooting the dog, and I also uploaded the video about the VCR head cleaner and everything. Yeah, but that pretty much just takes us to here. And I guess even though this year has really seen a lot of ambiguity, if you will, like I wasn't sure about how things were going to go, 2022 still did deliver on plenty of the stellar moments. Once again, while some years are greater than others, every year has its great moments. Yeah, and I'm sure that the factor of ambiguity will continue into 2023, even though I do have some interesting hopes for that month, because I'm hoping for some good movies to come out this year, like the Mario movie, and Indiana Jones 5, and some of the other stuff, if you will. Oh yeah, November was also the 20th anniversary of the movie adaptation of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And I guess that also makes me want to give a few tributes to some of the beloved celebrities we've lost this year, including Gilbert Gottfried. Jafar, what are you doing? Next up we had Bob Saget, reminds me of that Tourette's guy. Then we lost Stell Harris, who was in Seinfeld, and I knew her as the voice of Mrs. Potato Head. And then I think Coolio, whoever wrote Gangsta's Paradise. Then let's see, we lost Angela Lansbury, who I knew as Mrs. Potts in Beauty and the Beast, and then also Robbie Coltrane, who is Rubeus Hagrid in Harry Potter. But yeah, those are just a few, but yep, thank you to these wonderful celebrities. We'll never forget you. But yep, just a few of the celebrity tributes. But yeah, I think if I were to rank every year in the 2020s decade so far, I think I would put 2022 in the middle between 2020 and 2021. Even though there were a few notable hardships that came in 21, 2022, the ambiguity factor and all the other unknown stuff kind of detracted from it, but it still again delivered with a lot of the memorable moments. So again, this was a year worth living through, and I hope that there will be some good stuff to come in 2023, and I guess I'll kind of elaborate more on those as we go along. But yeah, thank you to all of my viewers. Most importantly, you guys have truly inspired me to keep going on making more videos. And even if I don't make videos for profit, it's always satisfying to delight you guys with my content. Yeah, me being able to hit 100 rail fannings this year too. So yeah, thank you all again, everybody. And I hope that this will be meaningful for you. I know that these end of the year vlogs are kind of long, but again, I hope that you can take a good meaning. Sorry, my nose was itchy and stuff, but I hope you can take my wisdom from here. So yeah, let's hope for good things to come in 2023. And I guess hopefully Rainbow Runner will be heading out, and we'll see you in 2023. Bye.